what is Heat culture? If you can condense that and define it, I know it's a lot of things. It's a lot about work ethic, but can you put in your words what Heat culture is?
So I will say this, Matt. It's Heat culture definitely uh, flows throughout the organization, and I would not. I don't think I'd be too incorrect by saying it might be different things to different people depending on what it is you are and what
Mm,
you do in the organization. So, um, for the players, it's all based on your accountability to one another, and the fact that your teammates know that you will do your job the way that you need to in order to get to a win. So, how does that transcend itself to like what I do as part of what we call the Heat Entertainment team? There is an expectation of how I'm going to handle myself behind that microphone, what's expected of me each and every game night. And I've got to live up to an expectation that the organization has. Uh, each and every night, I've got to bring the enthusiasm, the excitement, get that crowd fired up, uh, let them enjoy themselves, and really have a great time regardless of the outcome, but know that they really enjoyed themselves and that was really a lot of fun. So that's an expectation that I have on me. And that at the same time, I work with a number of other professionals and I expect them to be on the top of their game. So everybody is putting together the best possible show that we can. So it's kind of a demand and an expectation of one another. Although your roles are different. Thankfully, I don't need to make any baskets, but I certainly need to get 19,000 people standing up and making noise for your Miami Heat.
So, in transitioning from the organization to the fans, what is kind of the biggest misconception about Miami Heat fans? Because I have to admit, just watching the games on television, at least as a younger fan, I've always wondered, hey, like, there's a big game, and compared to other arenas, it's half full. And so, can you kind of clear up any kind of misconceptions to Miami Heat fans compared to the rest of the fans of the NBA in terms of that regard?
Yeah, I think Miami gets a tough reputation that the fans are, full of apathy. They just whatever. Okay, it's a game. Let's just go and be seen. Certainly, there's a lot of that in Miami, but I will say this: our fans, while they may not be early in their seats, they will get there, and they do get there to their seats. There's all kinds of things people want to say, the Miami traffic, or they're just in the clubs or the bars that are around, inside the building. But they will eventually get there, and I would argue that our building can and has been as loud as any building in the NBA. Now, that might not be at tip, but that will be at some point in the game. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals that we just had with Boston. That was one of the loudest scenes that I can remember of any game not being a finals game. I mean, it was just it was deafening, and everybody's into it. The crowd is great. I have a great relationship with the Heat fans. We kind of play off each other. They inspire me, and I try to get them fired up, and they get me fired up, and so this whole thing just kind of snowballs. And that makes it a lot of fun. We've been together for a long time, and the good news is they still respond when I ask them to respond. So that's the one thing you got to hope. It's like a friend always asks me, doesn't it bother you when people ask you and they see you out on the street, they ask you to say a player's name or they ask you to say something like you say it for the Heat? I said, that doesn't bother me. It's going to bother me when they stop asking me to do it. That's the problem.